Here we are. I'm a little bit late. I decided to try something a little later today and see if I could catch some of the people who always say that they miss me because, they got here too late or whatever. What I want to do today is to address some of the relationship advice questions that have been piling up in my inbox. And hey, look at here. One of my moderator friends is here. This will be a little easier topic today. We're going to do it, won't be as heavy as what happened, what was that, Tuesday? What we were talking about Tuesday. This one is going to be, straight relationship advice questions and answers because I haven't done that for a minute. And I think it's time to address some of these. And some of these are some pretty interesting questions. And, I have a lot of that's what happens when you get old. You have a lot of life experience in all kind of different arenas. So the letters that I get don't necessarily only have to do with dating and relationships, as you will see when I get into these. Hey everyone, I'm glad you found me here. You almost had that bell symbol lit up on your thing. Look at this lipstick on my teeth. That's terrible. uh Old is the gold, I guess so. Because, there has to be some benefit to it because, man, you start getting aches and pains and shit that you never had before. And, you be stiff and shit. Although people tell me, well, you like to work out and stuff. You need to stretch after. I'm like, stretch. But that's probably my problem. I don't do enough stretching. So, you start getting stiff. And I be feeling it. I'm not liking this lipstick at all. Excuse me. My friend put this on me. And I don't know about this stuff because it spreads too much. Hey, well, I know I need to stretch, but whatever. He said you have fish teeth because they're so small. Yeah, this is some kind of lip tint. I don't know what this stuff is she put on me. I like the color. The color is very complimentary, but it's just too. I don't like stuff getting on my teeth. See, I'm not feeling this at all. Anyway, yeah, well, see, that's what I must need. I must need some tint because this is some bullshit right here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking it. It's maybe it's meant when you just look, you just sit there and smile, not when you're actually talking, so your lips be moving too much on your teeth. That must be what this kind of stuff is for. It's just for taking pictures and looking cute, not for talking. But let me get into this. Hold on. Let me. I need to get this document on the screen. So, the document is going to cover up. Oops. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Okay, here we go. Let me start with the first one. And I think I have 5 or 6 questions. I have a little something here. Dear Deborah, first, I want to say thank you for all your dating advice. It's really helped me avoid making stupid mistakes and to focus on myself, my career, and my happiness. That's excellent. The question I have is related to family. My grandmother raised my younger brother and I as our mother was an addict. He's 2 years younger than me. My brother and I have different fathers, and besides our grandmother, no one has cared about us at all. We had arguments and tiffs as siblings growing up, but nothing too horrible. As adults, my brother does not keep in contact with me. I've always tried, but it's always a one-way street. New Year's of last year, my brother invited my grandmother and I to his house for the holiday. We lived out of state, but we made the trip to be with him. We had dinner out and found out he invited his latest girlfriend, who is 11 years his senior, has a special needs son, and is in a major custody battle with her ex-husband. Wait a minute. How old is this boy? You say he's young. He's 2 years younger than me, but do you say how old you are? This is interesting. I'm not seeing any numbers here as far as age goes. Maybe it's later in the letter. Okay, she's got a special needs son. She's 11 years older than him, and she's in a battle with her ex-husband. That's 4 no's. No. My brother has no children. He did not tell us he had invited someone else, but it would be okay, I thought. She was very nosy and pushy, especially with me asking my personal affairs beyond the point of normal conversation. I was polite and steered the conversation elsewhere. She got frustrated with me, told me to at least I have a man. What? And got her from the table and walked out of the restaurant. My brother paid for dinner and walked my grandmother and I to his car. He said his goodbyes to her, and we each went our separate ways. He dropped us off at his apartment and said he was going to the supermarket upon his return. She came back with him, walked over to the love seat I was sleeping on, knocked my legs off, and sat down next to me. Oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. See, brother or grandmother not, I would have committed kicking that bitch's ass, picked up whatever blunt object was nearby and clocked her. So you want to be touching me and that's an act of aggression right there. So if you aggressively attacked her ass back, there wouldn't be shit she could say because she had no business putting her hands on you. Okay, so I'm already hot and I'm only 1/3 into the letter. I did not make a scene and bit my tongue to keep the peace. Yeah, you good. You deserve a medal for that one because I would have been acting the original food one in the dictionary. For the rest of the 2 days when my grandma and I were there, she spent the whole time online shopping with my brother's credit card, walking around in lingerie, and the both of them were feeling each other up right in front of us. Wow. It was really weird, uncomfortable, and disrespectful, especially in front of my grandmother. Did grandmother ever say anything, though? Did grandmother check him? Did grandmother check her? If she didn't, on my last day there, he drove me to the bus station, said that she told him that I did not like her. Last summer, I moved closer to him by chance because I got a great job in that state. We live about 2 hours apart. I asked him to dinner. He agreed. I drove down to meet him. At dinner, he told me that his girlfriend was upset and disappointed that I did not ask her out as well. At dinner, he told me that she was pregnant. Oh, what an idiot. And she told him that he had to marry her because our grandmother and I did not like her. She also said that the pregnancy was hard on her and I should drive the 2 hours to help her when she goes to the ultrasounds and that they were getting married on a cruise in the Bahamas. I told him I would not be attending the wedding and that she's of low character. I also brought up her rudeness and disrespect. He told me that he did not remember it. Oh, Kyle convenient. And that he didn't want any drama. They just got married. Also, our grandmother has been recently diagnosed with cancer. I'm taking time off work to go care for her. I just feel torn because the two of them are my only family. Oh, you poor thing. And my brother's being difficult and does not care to say the least. Honestly, I want to let him go, but if my grandmother does not make it, I will have no one blood relative wise. And my pals keep telling me to give him another chance. Is it me? Is it me being difficult? Help, thanks. Hell fucking no. Let me tell you something. Wait a minute. Man, I wish that was some wine or some hen or something. But that's all right because I still talk shit no matter what I'm drinking. Okay, first of all, you need to cuss your brother out. I don't care what he, thinks about this hag that he's fucking around with the special needs kid. But it's like, I wish you had told me how old you guys were. This is like vital information that you left out, and it would really have a lot to do with how I frame my response. Because I mean, like, he's 2 years younger than you. Well, I mean, what are you, 40 and he's 38? Are you 50 and he's 48? Are you 25 and he's 23? I mean, this is you know what I mean. You left out a lot of information that really helped me frame this the way that I need to. But I'm gonna just go in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna say you 30 and he's 28. Let's just say that. You, young lady, have to understand something. You guys were raised up in an environment where there was addictions, and when people are raised in environments where there are addictions, they tend to be somewhat codependent. As your brother's case, a lot codependent, and yours there's some as well because you're focused on the fact that you have blood relation to these people instead of how you are being treated by these people, your brother in particular. So you don't worry about blood. Blood is an accident. That's a freak of nature. That don't mean shit. You can have people who you just met who will have your back more and love you more and be there for you and support you and take care of you than your family ever would. Okay, so don't think that just because you related to somebody that that's going to be some kind of magic salve and make everything better. Now, when that thing happened about your grandmother, see, on behalf of your grandmother or your grandmother was supposed to tell them to stop doing that nasty ass shit in front of her. Okay, but if nobody said anything, see, this is the problem I have with a lot of women. Y'all are too fucking passive. You don't speak up. You don't say no. You don't say stop. You don't say fuck that shit. You don't say anything. You just just take it. And you, by taking it, you're basically letting people know, and well, you're giving appearance rather, whether you feel it inside or not, because they're not mind readers, they don't know. But your outward appearance and your behavior is communicating that you're okay with what's going on. You're okay with what's being done to you. You're not being assertive at all. You're not standing up for yourself and you're not putting up a boundary, nary a one. Okay, when it started, when the bitch came in there, to asking you all them questions. Now you were, you did the dodge thing, you did the passive thing by steering the conversation to something else. That's not what you do. You look dead in her face and you say, all this stuff about me is none of your damn business. I don't know you, bitch. Don't be asking me no fucking questions. You want to know some questions, you ask that nigga over there because that's the one you fucking. You ain't fucking me. So you don't need to ask me shit. That's what you say to a bitch like that. And then she would probably got up and been upset and I would have gave no fucks. Because she came at you all kind of crazy. I'm telling you, I talk to people real stupid. But it's like it's all based on how you come at me. Now, if somebody coming to me like that, she would have got like Deb, stupid 101 and got the whole shebang. Then for her to come in there and put her hands on you, see, when she flipped your legs up, you know how you kind of sit up. You were supposed to swing as you sat up. That's what you're supposed to do, and just jump up and beat that bitch down until you got tired, and say, oh, I was asleep. I didn't know what that was. I just felt like somebody was attacking me, and I'm half asleep. I'm sorry, girl, bitch. I'm telling you, snatch that bitch ball. She would have been like edgeless and every whole bunch of other lessons. But, and then this thing walking around doing all this nasty, freaky shit in front of your grandmother, and you like some kind of exhibitionist. And then to say, well, at least I got a man. It's like, Nick, bitch, you got a boy. He's 11 years younger than you. And, you happy about that. It's just all you're going to do is fuck him over. I don't know. I would have said a whole bunch of nasty shit to her. She wouldn't have wanted to see me. And if your brother marries her, he's an idiot. Why he got her pregnant is he's even like a double idiot. But like I said, it's like, we got to understand his background and his mentality. He's a codependent. And so he's looking for someone with problems that he can fix. He's turned into Captain Save-A-Ho. This woman is out of control and stupid, and he's just letting her run amok in his life. And that's what's going on there. Now, as far as him asking you to come down and be with her, you were supposed to tell him, wait a minute, who am I? Was I fucking you? Uh-oh. Taryn, can you get the door? Sorry about that. Somebody rang my doorbell. And, you know, there's just no reason why. Hold on a second. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm back. Look at that. Wrong number. Wrong place anyway. Okay, so she's talking about he wants her to come down and get take care of this woman while she goes to get some ultrasounds. And what she's supposed to tell him is, look, I wasn't fucking a hoe. I'm not going to shit about that raggedy ass nappy headed baby. They don't have nothing to do with me. And that's what you tell him. Now, see, it's like if they got enough money to go to a cruise on the Bahamas, then that means he got enough money to hire somebody to take her to the doctor. If he can't do it, he got to go to work. So, that's all. I mean, and then they just got married. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And there's nothing much you can do with that. So, what I need to do, uh oh, what you need to do is write your brother a letter or call him when he's at work or somewhere away from her and explain to him how this is going to be. It's like, brother, I love you. I really hate that this is happening and this is separating us, but I cannot participate in this relationship that you involved in. That woman is rude and disgusting. And if she comes at me crazy again, I cannot be responsible for what I do to her ass. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say to her other than that. You have to put up some boundaries and you're going to have to let this man go because what you're going to do is get involved with him and this woman and they're going to drag you the fuck down and your grandmother, they're going to be worrying the fuck out of you. So you need to, understand that like I said, family is an accident. You don't really get any choice there. It just happened to you. You were a victim of that. That's your parents. But you have a choice now how you live your life. And I'm suggesting that when you see people who are toxic like this trying to come into your life, you put up a strict brick wall and don't let them do that to you. Stay on your track, stay focused. And, your brother gets his act together, then, he can reach out to you. But I would not call him anymore. I wouldn't chase him down. I wouldn't visit him. I wouldn't be bothered. That's what I would do. Find you some friends. Like I said, get that meetup.com shit going. If you in a sorority or something, hit up with the local chapter and get involved with something that they're doing. I mean, volunteer, do whatever you need to do to make some contacts, but let this go. This is a losing battle. You're not going to get anything here except involved in a bunch of codependent nonsense and get yourself drained financially and emotionally. All right. Oh, she's back. Okay, good. Poor lovely lucky lady got the lucky lefty got the boot. Well, welcome back. That was an accident. Okay, letter number 2. This young lady is in the 26 to 35 age group. She's French Canadian from Montreal. So she said that at the end of the letter, I saw that part where she said that she was, English is not her first language. And so she was apologizing for, some of the misspelled words and things. All right. First, let me say how thankful I am with the work you're doing. It's been very helpful for me, especially regarding my right to be difficult or picky about men I'm dating. I wish I had an aunt like you. I'm 30 years old, black, and in a relationship with a 35-year-old black guy for 4 months. But I dated him for 2 months prior to us being, quote, official. He is 80 to 90% of what I want from a man. We have discussed marriage in the early stage of dating, and when I say we, I mean me, telling him that it is a must and that we shouldn't date if we don't want marriage. Didn't want to leave him before that, but we have a compromise on an official engagement a year before the wedding, during which we will move together. My question is regarding the 6-month rule for him to show that he is serious. What should I expect? And how to lead him to act on that? Am I also worried that the fact that he doesn't express his feelings to me openly? He never says that he loves me, just how important I am to him, and that he cares deeply about me. But at the same time, he is doing things that lead me to believe he does love me. Am I the only girlfriend that ever asks to ever meet his friends? Should I ask him directly if he loves me? I wish he could just say it without me asking. Or should I just accept that he isn't a very expressive person, accept the act he does for his way of saying it? Thank you for taking the time, and I apologize for my errors in writing. English isn't my first language. Okay, let's go back up to the top. Okay, he's 35 fucking years old. This motherfucker knows how. Okay, that's my French. Okay, motherfucker. That's French accent. But this motherfucker right here knows how to say what he feels about a woman. The fact that you've been with him all in months and he hasn't said anything about how he loves you. I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. Crazy shit just comes out my mouth. But He hasn't said anything about how he loves you in all that time. But he's talking about marriage and he wants you to move in with him all stuff. I want you to put your brakes on here. Put your brakes on. You've only been dating him for 4 months, and there's no need for him to be, making all these plans as though something permanent is going to jump off, and you have doubts about how he even feels about you. It's like the cart is before the horse. That's backwards. Okay, you're supposed to know how he feels about you, then the commitment comes, and then the talk of marriage, and then it's things have to be in a logical sequence. This shit right here is out of order, and this is wrong, and some kind of game is being run here. Okay, number one is what you was tell him is um you will not be moving in with him. Don't you dare do that dumb shit. How many times do I have to tell you? If you really want to be married, don't you ever move in with a man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Um, that is like a classic mistake so many young women make. It's like you putting yourself in a situation where he's going to be getting all the benefits of having a wife with none of the responsibilities and none of the legal ties, none of the legal commitments, none of the legal binds, none of it. But you just there. Don't do that. Do not do that to yourself. Tell him that you've rethought, you rethink that situation, and no, that's not going to be happening. Okay. You say, well, we will have a compromise on an official engagement a year before the wedding, during which okay, what should I expect during this 6 month and how to lead him to act on that? You don't lead a 35-year-old man. You don't do that. See, this is the thing I keep telling you all. When a man is really into you, you don't have to do anything. He does more than enough. He wants to make sure that your eyes are on nobody but him, that you thinking about only him, that he's the only one that you spending your free time with, other than, your female friends or whatever like that. But he's gonna be like in your ear, babe, honey, what you doing? Where you at? I'ma swing by. Let me pick you up. You see what I mean? He wants to be around you. He wants to see you. He wants to just feel your essence, hold your hand, stroke your hair, kiss your cheeks, hug up on you. He wants all those kind of things like that. And this guy, the idea that you have, that you're worried that he doesn't express his feelings for you, is that really the kind of relationship that you want? I mean, what are you doing? What are you sacrificing what you need to feel secure and loved in a relationship, just because he started talking about marriage, 2 months into the relationship when you barely knew his middle name? No, I said 6 months for a reason. 2 months is too soon. You don't even know nothing like him. Yeah, see, everything, that's how it is. He calls you in the morning, he calls you at night, he calls you at lunchtime, he calls you before he gets out of work, especially if he's coming to your house. Babe, you need me to bring something from the store? Babe, um, I'm gonna watch the game and stuff. You have any beer? No? Okay, I'm gonna stop and pick some up. You want some chips? What we gonna eat, babe? Do I need to stop and you gonna cook? Okay, he's like working out a program with you. Because he's like making himself a part of your life in a way that benefits you and brings you joy and happiness. You're sitting there, and this man won't even tell you how you feel to him, other than you important to him. You know what? Men's dogs are important to them. Their favorite shoes are important to them. The Warriors are important to them because they won. So him saying that you're important to him, that don't mean shit. That means nothing. Okay, so just leave. Don't even you're the only girlfriend to ever meet his friends. So he says that, but it doesn't make it true. You don't know that. Excuse me. No, you shouldn't just accept that he's a very non-expressive person, and the things that he does is his way of saying it. Because I mean, you need both, and you deserve both. You don't have to settle for one or the other. A lot of times, once people, the guys have said it, then they get married, and he's like, "Well, I already told you that like 2 years ago. Why do I have to keep telling you?" Well, that's different because you married, you know what's going on, and it's not a big deal. But even then, they will still hug you and tell you that they love you. And if anything, they often will do it more because now they're married, because now they're really happy that you're their wife. So I'm not really feeling dude here. I think you're compromising too much, to the point where you're sacrificing which I don't recommend. Compromise, yes. Like he might not say he loves you every day. He says it once a month. Okay, that's a compromise. But not saying it at all after all this time with you, but he's talking about marriage and moving in together and shit like that. That's a game. Don't you fall for it. Don't you do that to yourself. Okay. Tell him no. We're gonna continue to date. And then when you're ready to get married, then we'll get married and then I'll move in with you. But I'm not gonna be moving in with you. We're not gonna do the shack up thing. All right. Letter number 3. Yeah, dude is tripping. And she seems like a sweet young lady. I mean, I get a vibe from people by how they write. And she seems very, gentle and sweet and stuff like that. And I could just see him taking advantage of her, and I don't want that to happen to her. Okay, letter number 3. Yeah, thank you. She said his Xbox is important to him. That's what I'm saying. Men will say some shit. Well, you're important to me. What does that mean? The money in your wallet's important to you too, but that doesn't mean that you love it enough to sacrifice things for it, like you're being single and committing to it for the life and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't mean any of that. So don't read into what he says unless he tells you he loves you and he backs the shit up with action. Then you can't hear nothing. You don't even hear what he's talking about. Letter number 3. I love your videos. You drop so much wisdom and knowledge in the dating game. I've learned so much as a woman in her mid-20s. Oh, she's young. She's a baby. Can you please do a video addressing the following questions? What are some specific? Okay, wait. She wrote 3. Okay, we're going to deal with one of these. Let me see which one we're going to do. She got a 3-part question here. Each one of these is enough for a whole video. Okay, let's do part number 3. What do you consider to be real dates? I was told where a man takes you or the level of effort he puts into planning a date says a lot about how much he likes you. I personally get offended when men ask me out on coffee dates or Netflix and chill or walk in the park dates because it seems to me it shows no real effort from a man who claims to be romantically interested in you. What are your thoughts? My thing is this. By the time you go on a date, he should have know something about you. He should know how your mind works, what intrigues you, what you find fun, what you enjoy doing, what makes you laugh. He ought to have some kind of vague idea about what things will bring you pleasure and joy and make you smile. Now, when a man is trying to date a woman, um, his goal should be to bring her happiness because the more she laughs and smiles, the more she associates you with happiness and happy times and joy. Okay. Every man rather should want a woman that he makes feel that way because then a relationship is just really easy and it's really great. Okay, I don't do coffee dates. I don't do lunch dates. Okay, you know what? Let me tell you about some creative dates I had. And these guys were what some people call, uh, like, for lack of a better term, what a lot of these brothers call a thug, because they was, street niggas, kind of street niggas. But um, that's my background too now. Don't get it twisted because that's I grew up in what San Francisco was called the Fillmore area. It ain't pretty over there. Okay, it is now because it's full of yuppies and gay dudes. But at the time, it was part of the San Francisco redevelopment program. There was all kind of just it was not necessarily the best neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. Um, so, these niggas are, they're just, street niggas. Some of them are street niggas with an education. But, that's what I like because that's what I am. It's like same meet same. So then this one dude, I met him and yeah, it was scary. It was different. Plus, the hippies was there. I mean, it was just a lot going on. Okay. Just a lot going on. And that's where I grew up. So this guy, I met him. I was working this contract job because I hate like working regular jobs. I like to be in and out. I like the freedom of doing what I want to do and then leaving. And so I go to this law firm that's working on this project for them for a big trial, put together trial exhibits and stuff like that. And he worked there. And dude was fine as hell. I just have to tell you, just just ridiculous, just cute. And of course, I noticed him, but I was there to do my job. So he was hovering around my desk all the time. So finally, one day, asked me to go to lunch with him. So I was like, okay, I like food, and I like he was cute. So what he did was he cooked. He made food. He brought it was like, it wasn't in no picnic basket or nothing like that. It was in like a Safeway plastic shopping bag. But he had made some fried chicken and a couple of sandwiches. And I mean, he was actually a pretty good cook. And this is downtown San Francisco. At this time, they had it was during the wintertime, and they used to set up this ice skating rink way down at the end of Market Street. At I think it's like 3 Embarcadero Building or something like that. But anyway, that's where we went, and it was cold as hell. But he rented some ice skates, and we out there. Though he was skating, I was falling down on the ice. That's that kind of thing. But I had such a great time, and the reason why is because he had talked to me all that time, just a little bit, and he understood how my mind worked. I like shit that's different. I like new experiences. I like stuff that's I haven't done before. To go places I haven't been before and to see shit I haven't seen before and to talk to people I haven't talked to before. See, he figured that out about me. I had to give due credit because he was good. And so we went there, and I hadn't been ice skating since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. So I was doing plenty of falling down on the ice. I was all kinds of fucked up after, but it was still fun. And we did that for a little bit. Then we get them the skates back, and then we ate our little food, and we went on back to the office. And I had a lot more different adventures with him. He was I will always remember this guy. We never like got together like that. It was, I was nah. When somebody ain't shit, I enjoyed the parts of him that I enjoyed, and then I just left the rest alone. So we stayed buddies for years. A lot of the stuff that's up on my blog are from conversations that I had with him and another one of my street buddies friends. I would propose, ideas and stuff, and we would powwow. And then those articles are the results of our conversations and the interviews I had with them. So, you get an advantage of their knowledge too over on survivingdating.com. But that's to me is a real date when a guy puts interest into learning who you are, what makes you happy, what will make you laugh and smile, and then he does it without asking you, without none of the shit where they pick you up in the car and then say, well, where are we going, nigga? Let me get out this car because you stupid. It's like I don't have time to be sitting up here planning a date. That's your job, nigga. That's your job. It's like you want to be seen as the man and the leader and the head honcho and all this old shit, then step up and be the man. Now you want to just sit there and be all passive and shit and have me making all decisions and me doing all the work. That means I'm the man. Then what are you? You the bitch. So no, I don't do that. I don't. You niggas come up to talking about that. What you want to do, and you done pick me up and you done had me get my hair and nails and done and shit, and you don't have a plan. I'm out this bitch ass car and I'm through with your bitch ass too. I'm done. It's a wrap. So I don't play that kind of stuff. You better have your shit straight. You're gonna be spending some time with me. You better have a fucking plan. And I mean from the second you pick me up to the second you drop me off, some shit better be scripted. You better know where we going, what time is reservation, did you got the tickets already? I mean, all this stuff you should have put together some shit. They're sitting up there having me stand in line in the cold while you run around trying to find tickets and stand in some long ass line, and I'm freezing and my back is hurting from wearing these high heels trying to look cute for your funky ass. And then they get up to the window like, oh, we're sold out. See, that's some shit that'll get you stabbed. So I'm like, I don't know how you do it. And it's like you guys, you don't want to come over to your house and watch TV. That's some shit you do when you've been with a nigga for 4 or 5 years and y'all saving your money to go to Hawaii or to Jamaica or something. But you just this is the early part of dating. His goal is to get you to like him. His goal is for you to see him as a man who could benefit your life and to bring you joy. Okay. And these niggas are so fucking lazy. And you guys just let them get away with that shit. It's like, well, can I just come over? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't have to go nowhere. You're supposed to say, hell no, motherfucker. You ain't coming over to my house. I know. I thought about that. I was like, I wonder what kind of rapper I would be. That's probably I'll just stay doing what I need to be doing right here. The men's goal was always because, they wanted, even if you're a religious person, what does the Bible say, right? A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. It don't say nothing about a woman who finds a husband finds a good thing. They know that they're supposed to step the fuck up. Okay, they're supposed to step up. And that means from the very first interaction, if they're interested in you like that, where they really want to get to know you and they think that there could be something great between the two of you, they need to be proving themselves. But that's what, they don't want to do that. They want you to prove yourself. It's like, you bitch ass, punk ass, weak ass niggas. I'm not trying to do all that. Get out of here. You need to go put you some lacy panties on because you more of a girl than me. I just, I can't do all of that. Y'all good. Are most guys like that? Hell if I know. I mean, if they are, they ain't in my world. I can't be bothered. I can only talk about, what women tell me. And a lot of what they tell me is that that's, how these guys be doing. So, what is this? Let me turn this off. It's using up my bandwidth. Um, Yeah, so that to me, I hope I answered your question. Those are what are real dates. There's a big umbrella there, all depending upon your interests, your hobbies, your age, where you are in the country, because weather has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? So you have to make that determination. But the basic foundation of what I told you about him, finding out what it is that pleases you and then making sure that that happens. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money because one of the dates I'm gonna tell you that when I was doing research for my writing and stuff, one of the quote dates, and we just spent some time together. He had a lunch hour or something. He came to pick me up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to see something really interesting, right? Let me tell you where this man took me. This is the same dude who took me ice skating." So we get in the car and we drive down to East Oak. I mean to well, like downtown part of Oakland, in East Oakland, downtown part. And we parked the car and he had these binoculars, right? So we looking with binoculars a couple of blocks away. What were we doing? We were watching white men from the suburbs. Some of these motherfuckers had like minivans and station wagons, the little what they call an SUV, the little SUV thing with car seats in the back, picking up prostitutes. That's what we did that night. I was never see, but see, like I said, he knew what would make me be interested and be, like, what? Like, and it was so unique. It was so different. I'd never done see what I mean? I'd never done any shit like that before. And he knew that that would be something that I would love to do and see with my own eyes because it would give me material to write and speak about. I'm telling you, the man had my number. That's why I never fucked with him. Because you got somebody who could read you that good. So I was scared of that motherfucker. That's the truth right there. I was like, oh wait a minute. He just not know me a little bit too good. Now this wasn't our first date. This was, I don't know, probably about our tenth or 12th date. But um he took me to this raggedy ass part of Oakland. It's all gentrified down there now, but at that time, it was something else. And I could tell you, I'm telling you, how many white dudes drove up in family vehicles with car seats in the back seat. I'm fucking telling you, I saw this shit with my own eyes and picked up these young prostitutes. These were young black and Hispanic girls, and some of them looked to be no more than 16 to 17 years old. And they was picking them up and driving off to do whatever they was doing with them. And, I was just stunned and shocked. And we sitting up there eating in the car and drinking Cokes and just, just like going, oh, did you see that? That was the best time. It was really it was a sociology study for me. And I really enjoy myself. So see, that's what I'm talking about. If you got a man who's willing to think like, to put himself in your position and think about uh, what you like and stuff, what you find exciting, your life will become it's like like a three-ring circus. I was never bored with him. Never. He always had something interesting to talk about. He always kept my mind going. I loved that shit. I loved it. I have not met a man yet who had that kind of I had that kind of mental rapport with. That was something else. But I know if I ever screwed him, it would have been over for me. So that's why we did it. We put bound. Oh no, 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 no. I lost track of him years ago. And I like it like that. We had a good time. I had some great memories, some stuff I will remember, experience I will remember the rest of my life with him. But so you got to move on. You can't get stuck on that. Uh yeah, he really did know how to think outside the box, and that's the kind of men that I like. Those are the kind of men that get my attention. If they just like regular dudes, I have no interest in regular dudes. I need somebody whose mind is quick, who's an outside the box thinker, and who's creative. And dudes who are just like quote regular, they think Netflix and chill, and going to the barbecue pit, and just kind of that's I can't do that. That might be good for 1 or 2 days, and then after that, I'm gonna be looking around like, okay, who else is here? Because we're done. This is a wrap. Okay, let's go. Oh, he was fun. He was fun. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, letter number 4. Yes, Aries men is my favorite. Taurus men is my second favorite. That's my husband. He was a Taurus. For some reason, I get along with him really well. And this guy that I'm talking about, he was a Capricorn with a lot of Aquarius traits, though. And Aquarius men and me have a good time. Gemini men and me have a good time. Pisces men and me, no. Scorpios, hell to the no. Cancer, oh my God, I'd want to kill myself. No. Yeah. Yeah. No, they too clingy. I can't handle it. Oh, there's some kind of every man who's cray cray, girl. They sign don't protect the serve as no protection from the cray cray. They just a nut. But the sign don't have nothing to do with it. I'm just saying, yeah, every cancer man I ever interacted with was a nut. The one who told me, on our second or third date, I forget. Well, I think it was the second. Well, you could tell all your other niggas you have a man now. Cancer. See, they want to like cling to you like a fucking crab. I don't like that. Look, I need breathing room. Lions are like, I'll love you, but I'm gonna love you from over there. I'm gonna be over there, and you're gonna be over here. Yeah, I dated a Sag, but that didn't work too much. That it's supposed to be a good match, but I don't know. That didn't work. I must have something in my chart that just didn't work. I want to kill his ass. So that's no. We're not gonna do that. Okay, letter number 4. Enough of my reminiscing because I tell you, I have so many crazy dating stories. I think of my life. How many dates have I been on? I don't know. Shit, zillions. It's just ridiculous. Some of the dates only lasted like 20 minutes because I got up and walked the fuck out. Okay, letter number 4. This young lady is 26 to 35 age group. And she says, I watch your YouTube videos all the time. The reason for me writing today is because of a recurring dream. Oh, my boyfriend and I have been together for about 12 years. I am 30 years old and we have a son together. He had a daughter when he was a teenager. The only 2 children I know him to have is my son and his daughter. The probably is this dream I keep having. Okay, I don't know what she was trying to say there. Every time things are going well between us, I get this dream about him having another baby I know nothing about. Every time things are going well with us, I get this dream. Okay. Last night I dreamt that he told me to take my son on a bus ride to get me out of the house. In this dream, I did that, but I was feeling like something was up. So my son and I got off the bus and then took it back to the house. We got to the house. Another one was on her way out. And when she saw me, he closed the door. The woman opened the door, and behind it was a baby girl who I found it was his other child. Of course, this woke me up right out of my sleep, filled with anxiety and confusion. I tried Googling what this dream meant, and once again, I told him about it. He laughed, but it wasn't funny to me, and I let him know that it asked if there was something I should know. He laughed and said, "That was your dream." I reiterated and told him it wasn't funny. He asked what it is I wanted him to tell me. I replied the truth. He tried to say I was adding stress to his other stresses by asking him this question. I didn't give a fuck as this was not sitting well with me, especially since I wasn't getting a straight answer. He gave you a straight answer. He said no. I told him I see no reason to move forward with this relationship if he couldn't honestly answer this question. He then said, "This is funny. All this over a dream." I said, "No, it's an honest yet. So I do have one such and such. Is she such an age or no?" He then replies, "It's a no for you, miss. He took so long to answer the damn question. I don't believe him. Am I over exaggerating? Do you think dreams really do try to tell you something, especially? Okay, girlfriend, you tripping. Let me tell you about dreams. Dreams have to do with you, not other people. You the key thing here was when you said when things are going well between us, that's when you have this dream. You know what that means? That you feel very insecure and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. The other shoe to you means a betrayal. You're taking it as like it's manifesting in your dream as betrayal and heartache and pain. But see, you're projecting that. You have no proof of any of this that you're talking about. It came to you in a fucking dream. I mean, really? And you're gonna be like trying to act like that's real life and jam a dude up about that? Do you know how silly you sound right now? You know, you really need to stop this before you lose your relationship over a fucking dream. Okay, dreams are when you have a dream of anxiety like this, it usually means there's something happening in your life that you or happened in your life that you're still trying to deal with. You're still trying to wrestle. So you think about, and this is some homework for you. What in your life has happened to you to make you not trust other people, to have such anxiety that somebody might possibly, maybe in the future, hurt you? What is it that you're like digging up out of your psyche from the past that you don't really want to deal with? Because that's what a recurring dream is. It's going to keep coming to you until you deal with it. Whatever is your fear, there's a fear that you have. It has nothing to do with him. That's why you the one having the dream. He's the one in it because that's how we do. We might pick it's something that we've seen. Sometimes for me, it's something I saw right before I went to sleep, or like, in a movie or something. A person who was a character will appear in my dream because that was the last, recent visual. You see him because that's your man. So he's the one manifesting in your dream because that's your visual. But what you really are doing, you're having some high anxiety about a situation or something that you're trying to resolve. And it's usually about something in the past. It doesn't really have anything to do with the future. But the way you coming at dude, um, okay, Tisha. Tisha say that you ate pork before you went to bed and you better leave that swine alone. I just know that, dreams have a lot to do with what is going on in your life, what you're feeling about a situation. And it doesn't mean that that person is doing that thing. This is your thoughts about the situation, not what the situation actually is. You see what I mean? It's just like somebody who's an anorexic, right? They look in the mirror and they see a fat person. Everybody else in the world looks at them and sees somebody who's skin and bone. So they're not dealing with what is, they're dealing with what they feel it is. And that's what you're doing. So see, you're the anorexic right now. You're seeing something that's not realistic and you're projecting it as real when it's not. Um, you're whatever it is, like I said, you need to figure out what it is and stop avoiding it and stop trying to make it be something that he's doing. This is going to require you to really sit down and do some work. Start from the first memory that you have. What caused you anxiety? Did you have like parental separation anxiety? Did one of your parents leave you, abandon you? Do you fear that something is going to replace you? Did you have a lot of sibling rivalries? I mean, what happened? So you think, be very honest with yourself and figure this out. And once you do, that dream will go away and you'll be able to stop anticipating disaster when everything between you and this man is going well. You sabotaging your relationship. That's like a sign of low self-esteem when you're doing stuff like that. Just like I said, that was the key sentence. I mean, that's really all I need to read. When things are going well between us, I have this dream. And then the dream fucks you all up and it fucks up the relationship so that you're not things between you two are not doing well, and then you feel comfortable and then you don't have to dream anymore. You see how this is? You're creating this monster yourself. Ooh, honey, you need to stop. You need to stop. Okay, now here's a different letter. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It is for real because she's having a whole bunch of anxiety about it. That's some shit that makes you like wake up with your heart racing, all in a sweat, hyperventilating, high blood pressure and shit, and gritting your teeth, all kind of bad stuff be going on. That's not cool. Okay, letter number 5. This woman is in the 46 to 55 age group. Oh, she's a homegirl from LA, Cali. And this was about workplace conflict. Ooh, this is long. Okay, well, let me read this real quick. She says workplace conflict between black insecure men and the mammy women who came from them. Oh, woohoo. I'm a black woman in my 50s. I was recently promoted. I was assigned to a black male, a late 50s guy, who trained me. During the training session, he displayed some inappropriate behavior, for example, lifting up his shirt and rubbing on his stomach while assisting me with work tasks. Ew, like right next to you, rubbing on his icky belly, making suggestive comments about female participants' lifestyle and appearances. For a while, I was confused about his behavior because I'm not used to men behaving like this on the job. Okay, okay. Let me just stop right here because this letter's long and I might forget. Um, when he did that, you're not supposed to be confused. You're supposed to say, "You need to pull your shirt down, sir. Nobody's trying to look at your body. This is a workplace and I'm trying to do some work." That's, keep your clothes on. That's what you're supposed to say to him. Embarrass his fucking ass. And to let him know, whatever this game is you trying to play here, like you don't like entice me to want to touch your belly or, be belly to belly with you. See, I mean, you never know what's going on in their mind. But then to sit up there and make all these inappropriate comments about women's lifestyles and appearances, see, that's sexualizing the other females in the office to you. So what's that game? I talked about that during the 21, 25, whatever things, 25 things black men do to make black women jump through hoops series. What he's trying to do is put you in a situation where you're going to be competing against those women. I mean, because niggas all think all women are stupid. That's what they do. They think all women are stupid and all women are insecure and that all women want to compete with some other woman over their tired, funky, stinky asses when nothing could be further from the truth. Okay. So let me move on. That's the first thing. Y'all got to speak the fuck up. You know what? I mean, this passivity I'm seeing from all these women is driving me fucking nuts. You guys have to like open your mouths. You open your mouth to talk shit about what other people should do, but you don't say anything yourself. You don't speak up when people do shit to you, mistreat you, disrespect you, and harass you at the office, at home, wherever you are. You have to put people in check. Of course, he's done it before, and he got away with it because all the women are passive and everybody said shit. Like I said, when you don't speak up and tell people that what they're doing is a no-no, they assume that you're complicit with it, and rightly so, because otherwise you would say that it's not. But you don't say anything. A lot of you even smile and laugh and stuff. It's a nervous laughter. It shows disapproval. Oh, thanks, Tisha, because I'm going straight, as they say, to the liquor store after I finish with this, because this is making me feel crazy. You have to stop letting people do this kind of stuff to you. And I'm not saying you have to jump back and cuss people out because I know how to talk to people too. But it's like sometimes I just choose not to. Now in a situation she got a promotion, he was training her. So that's not an environment where you would cuss somebody out. But it would say, you need to keep your clothes on, pull your shirt down. I'm here to learn something. I'm not here to look at your body. That's very inappropriate in the workplace. And he would probably get defensive because he would be embarrassed and his feelings would be hurt. Well, I'm just, he's going to make some kind of excuse about it. It's like, that's fine that that's what you want to say. But I'm telling you, don't do that again because I'm not trying to look at your body. I'm here to learn this job. And that's all I'm here to do. Boundaries. Okay. Boundaries. Okay. Let's move on. For a while, okay, she was confused. I informed my supervisor, who is a black female, also in her mid-50s, who did not believe me and assumed I was seeking attention. I was reassigned to another trainer, but my workplace environment became extremely hostile. This black man talked about me and showed them my task mistakes to some younger black women who believed everything he said, and they started acting hostile towards me. Wow. One even tried to sideswipe my car when I was leaving from work. I reported the incident to the administration, and the report was not addressed. Okay, let me stop again. These are all behaviors that you should have been documenting. And for everyone who is listening to this, let me tell you about Deb. Deb has even sued law firms, people that advise other companies on labor laws and proper behavior. No, Cal OSHA has to do with workplace environment, like toxicity, toxic water, handling chemicals and stuff like that. This is an EEOC matter. Here in department is DFEH, Department of Fair Employment and Housing. But it's still under the federal law. This is an EEOC matter if it rises to those standards, which I will explain after this, because I used to work in the labor law and stuff and family courts and all that stuff. So I still remember a lot of it. So this was once this happened, the day and time and what was happening and who was involved, all of that stuff should have been documented. So if you have a situation like this at your work and some crazy shady shit like this starts going on, start documenting everything. And if you have to send yourself an email to your personal email, do not keep your shit on a computer at work, because you never know what's going to happen. So you have anything, you send it to your email at work. It can stay on your work computer if you want to, but you send it to your personal email, so that you keep that as a file. It will show the date and time stamps on the servers. Each time it passes through a server, it gets a date and time stamp, that big header at the top. So in the event of any kind of legal action, you can print those out and it will show the exact date and time that you sent them to yourself, so that they know. You see what I mean? There's a paper trail. That's what you have to do with motherfuckers like this. Okay, so I report, okay, the name was not addressed. Okay, see that right there. But see, if you reported and it wasn't in written form and you had no documentation, that's what I'm telling you. That's why you have to have documentation. When you make a report, you have to give them proof. You just saying, especially if it doesn't meet the standard of an actionable cause under the standard of hostile work environment, there's really nothing they can do. Okay, you see what I mean? So I'm not saying that this company was wrong, because the way that it sounds like you handled it, you didn't really give them anything to act on. Okay. Say present day. I've passed my probation. I've moved to another floor. Thus far, this man has made every attempt to come to my private space. What, you have like an office? A cubby? I'm trying to, okay, how private is this space? For example, to use a copier machine or ask work related questions, which he could have received assistance on his floor. Okay, see, all this should have been documented. This is like harassment. It's almost like fucking stalking. He's coming up on a different floor, asking you some shit that doesn't even have to do with his job, your job. Today I was exiting the elevator and forced to brush his shoulders because he did not move out of the way. He let out a hearty laugh that made me feel so uncomfortable that I was unable to work. I told management and left for the day. I hope you wrote all this down, because see, that blocking your exit kind of shit, that's sexual harassment. That blocking your exit from rooms, file rooms, offices, cubbies, anywhere where you feel trapped by this man's body. He's eliminating your free movement. That is harassment. Now that's an actionable thing, but not if you didn't document it. You didn't document it. See? This is getting really disturbing. Okay, let's continue. Um, I'm an attractive, statuesque woman with big old breasts and butt, but I don't fraternize at work. But for some reason, I'm subjected to all kinds of hate from Black folks at my job. I get along with every race except for us. I don't gossip. I mind my own business, and I'm friendly. Deb, do you have any suggestions about resolving workplace conflicts and a proper way to manage stress? Appreciate your response. Yes. Okay. First, let's talk about what's harassment. Write a book on working while Black and woman. Ooh, honey. I could only do that if I could be using words like motherfuckers, shit for brains, assholes, jerks, racist pricks, things like that. I would need to be able to have the freedom to use words like that. Becky's, all that kind of stuff. Because I run into all of those people. these power mongers, all kind of bitchery and fuckery from white folks. I haven't really worked with too many black people because of the environment, I guess, that I work in, I mainly worked around white people. But this kind of shit that she's describing, they do the same shit. Okay, so let's talk about what are the legal standards that meet workplace harassment under Title VII. That's the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Okay. And then you got the age discrimination and then the disability, disabled people's thing. I mean, it's all kind of bundled together at this point. But it started with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So what is harassment? It's basically any unwelcome contact, remarks, words, behavior, or, actions, whatever, that are repetitive, because a one-off situation, once every 6 months situation, that's not going to meet the legal standard of harassment or a hostile work environment. It has to be repetitive, it has to be focused, and it has to be like consistently directed towards one individual or a group of individuals that that are what they call a protected class. That's age, race, disabilities, uh, sexual orientation. Those tend to be the big four. Um, so you getting people making jokes, people trying to touch your body, people want to touch your hair, people talking about your hair, talking about your body, um, making, uncomfortable jokes or conversation. You can hear them that are designed to shame you, humiliate you, embarrass you. Um, it's a lot, but the way that you do it, the way that you have to be able to prove it is by documentation. Okay, you've got to keep records. Also, age. Oh, I forgot, she's in over 40. That's the age class too, but then so are they. So I don't know how that would work. Usually in a situation like that, the person is under 40 and they're harassing the person who's over 40. So the delineation is very clear. In this one, they all in the same age group, but even though she's in a protected class, so are they. So I mean, from an attorney standpoint, I'm not sure how that works. I don't recall having run into that situation. But also, they can't retaliate against you if you file a claim against them. So let me see. Since this guy was a supervisor, you don't say, you say you got a promotion, but you didn't say to what. Are you a supervisor too? So are you guys peers now? Or is he still, a superior to you? That part wasn't made clear. And that would have a lot to do with it too, if you guys are peer, or if he's still, considered someone who has influence and could, basically tell you what to do because he's a supervisor, manager, or something like that. But basically, if you feel when an employee feels harassed and targeted to the point where they can't work, they're so stressed out, that meets the standard uh, of a hostile work environment. But you got, like I said, you got to have that documentation. Now, this guy, um, some of the questions that a company might ask them, which is why you want to have your documentation, they're going to ask you these questions and they're going to be asking themselves as they review your documentation. Were these incidents that you described unwelcome? Okay, that means you weren't participating. Like sometimes, people get in a situation where they're laughing and joking with the dirty jokes, but then later they want to turn around and say, well, that was insulting. Well, no, you participated in the bullshit. So obviously it wasn't as unwelcome as. The second thing was were these actions towards a member of the protected classes I mentioned, age, gender, race, pregnant is in there as well, um, physical disabilities, and gender. I mean, sexual orientation. Those are the main categories. Did they recur over a period of time repeatedly? Now you pointed out some repetitive actions that this guy did. Did you document them? What the fuck was he doing coming up the stairs to your office to ask you anything, or to use the copy machine so conveniently right by you? And this is what he always does. Okay, this employee is doing a bunch of shit. They might talk to him at first, but then if they continue that behavior, or they think that this person is too out of control, or they have too much backup in the company, they fire them, because it eliminates the risk of a huge lawsuit and having their name sprayed all over the paper in the sexual harassment. I'm just, I just remember because now I worked as a paralegal, and this was the kind of stuff that I used to have to help the attorneys research and investigate. Making phone calls, taking witness statements, setting up depositions and stuff, and then summarizing the depositions. Writing interrogatories, all that shit. I used to do all that stuff, and so you get you see enough of these cases, and you see the ones that are successful, they have certain things in common. And the one thing that they have in common is that there was like very good documentation, sometimes even with photographs. If you got a friend, in there, and they take pictures of this person at your desk all the time, with the date stamp from your phone, or there's phones now, but in those days, we still had cameras. And it was it was pretty interesting. And also the final thing is, if a person is caught, would a reasonable person, whatever that means, view this behavior subjectively as hostile and harassing? So that means like your average person hearing this story, not an attorney, not a judge, not but your average person, would they hear this story and go, ooh, or, feel sorry for you, or feel like get the willies and the creeps? Okay, that is also part of the assessment process. Because you don't have to have a thick skin. You don't have to be a quote strong black woman, and you don't have to take this kind of shit. You don't have to take it to be mistreated and think that you have to endure it, and that if you don't, then that means there's something wrong with you. There's something's wrong with them for treating you this way. And these people in your work environment, that's really unfortunate. But I'm such a bitch. You know what I would do? I don't give a fuck if I had to hire him. I would find me the finest ass white boy I could, and I would have him come up to the office, and I would have him say he's gonna take me to lunch, and I would have him grab me and say, baby, and kiss me down, right, tongue me down right in front of everybody, or right in the fucking office. And then I would hold his hand and we would walk out the door. So let them bitches, and them nigga men see that shit and watch how they don't know what to fucking say. And see, and it's the kind of thing that if they say anything about that, you document that too, because now they're racist. So you set them up, set their asses up. I love doing stuff like that. Just fucking with people's mind just because I can. I would hurt their feelings so bad. That nigga thinking that he's somebody. And make sure that when the white boy pulls up, he's in some fine fly ass car too. Don't say he can't be showing up in no Honda. I don't give a fuck if he got to rent the car. Make sure his ass show up in a Ferrari, or a drop top Beamer, or drop top Benzo, some kind of fly ass fucking car that he looks cute. You don't have to be dressed fine or anything. He can be casual, but just make sure he's somebody who's good looking. And you pay him for an hour of his time. And if you have to, a lot of them might do it to fun just because they hear the story, and don't, they want to get them back. But if I'm just saying, if you had to, you could pay somebody to pull this stunt off, and it would just be world class fuck mind fuck. Oh, it would be like the best thing ever. I'm just telling you. I know why you got to be so mean? I'm not mean. I just fight fire with a flamethrower. That's all. You want to start some shit with me? Let me show you how to start shit, because you're not good at it. I am a fucking PhD in shit starting. So, that's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But the main thing that you have to do, and when you have to document this too, I forgot, is when they do this kind of stuff, when he does that kind of stuff, you boundaries, right? So you have to say, I really am wondering why you come all the way up here to my floor to ask me these questions and use the copy machine in my office. It seems like you're going out of your way to be around me, and I'm wondering why that is. I said, you don't accuse them of anything. Always ask motherfuckers a question because then they hang themselves. Don't ever say anything. See, that's what the mistake people make. They put things, words in people's mouth. Well, I think you doing it because blah, blah. That's not how you do it. You just say what you've observed. Okay. And then you ask him why is happening that way. You let him answer. And then you document that shit. I asked blah, 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 blah. His reply was blah, 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 blah. This was the date. This was the time. And this is what happened. And every time he does that, you ask him, "Oh, I see you're up here again. May I ask again what brings you up here when you have a perfectly good copy machine and secretarial staff to answer these questions downstairs in your department? Why are you keep coming up here asking me these questions?" Blocking the door and stuff like that. It's like you did you say move? You say you need to move the fuck out the way. You're blocking me. You don't ask him and you don't have to push by him either. You tell him to move his fucking ass out the way. If necessary, you can say, the behavior that you're exhibiting right now could be construed as sexual harassment. You blocking a woman's entrance and exit from her desired course of travel is considered harassment. It's sexual harassment since you're a man and I'm a woman. That's what rapists do. What's he gonna say? That's not what rapists do. That is what rapists do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too. Maybe I am mean, like Tisha said. Maybe I am mean because I just say crazy stuff like that to men. It's like, you don't get to treat me any old kind of way. And if you do some fucked up shit to me, then you better be prepared for some fucked up shit to be flying back your way. So, I remember. Oh, let me tell you about this story too. Why do I have so much crazy shit happen to my? Let me tell you about this motherfucker. Okay, now men in the Middle East tend to be very sexist, right? So this was when I was working as a trainer. This motherfucker, he sits there. He used to sit, and he was married too. This was the worst thing. He's Middle East married to some blonde white girl. She was not cute, but whatever. That don't matter. That was his wife. I'd met the woman. He brings it to the company functions and stuff, right? So we in like the bullpen one day where all the trainers would go. We do our paperwork and shit back there. We have like our client charts and there's a couple of computers we can use to check schedules and phones we can use to make a we that's where we conduct our business. So I'm sitting in the bullpen between clients at a cancellation. I had an hour free. And so I'm doing some paperwork and he was sitting there. And so then he starts talking to me about how he had gone to this club in San Francisco called Ruby Tuesday. And it's, like this white club, but I mean, they used to have some good music and stuff if you like that house kind of stuff. So he had taken his old ass, because he's older than me, went to Ruby Tuesday, and he was talking about all the young white girls that was there and how they had on skirts that was so short and was showing all this and all of that, right? And I'm looking at him like, what you telling me that for? So I was half paying attention because I was doing my thing, but then all of a sudden I tuned in. I was like, wait, what did he just say? It was like I woke up. It's like I wasn't really, he was just droning, yeah, 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 I wasn't really tripping on what he was saying. But then it was like I became conscious of what he was saying. So I turned and I looked at him, I said, what did you just say? And so he didn't, you would think he had enough sense to catch my tone and my expression. Look at this face. Does this look like a face that you should keep talking? If somebody said, what the fuck did you say? Would you keep talking? I know I wouldn't. So then he's just sitting there and he's holding on to um this, he's making this motion like he had this chick by the waist and they in some dark corner of the club and he's going like this. Okay, you know what that means. I'm not stupid. And this is what he's doing to me in the health club with all the clients and stuff in the bullpen where we at work. I'm like, okay. I said, I'll be right back. I went downstairs and the department secretary, I said, I need a copy of the sexual harassment policy right quick. And she's like, "What?" And she could tell I was hot. She says, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "Don't you worry about it. You'll hear about it if what I'm getting ready to do right now doesn't work." And so I said, "But so just keep that in mind. If I'm back down here in about 10 minutes, I'll tell you the whole story." And so, she made me a photocopy. It's like a 3-page document. So I flipped through, I find the part that applied to what he did. I took out this big red marker and I circled it. Then I put an arrow on it. And then I put a note on the front that said, read this. Okay. Then I got back upstairs. He had a client, so he was on, working with his client. I still had another 30 minutes left before I had mine. So I opened his little drawer and I slide it in there. So when his client was over, the cards that the clients have to sign that they got their session are in these, our drawers. So he was gonna have to see it. So I'm by then my client's, here. So he's, I see him see it though. Look across the floor of the gym and I can see him holding the paper and I can see his face turning red. So when I got finished, I went to the bullpen and he's like, "Oh, um, I want to thank you uh for giving me that. I'm sorry. I really want to apologize. Let me tell you why. This company had a zero tolerance policy for sexual harassment. I knew this man had a wife and a couple of kids, and I knew that he was the only one in his family working. Now, what he did was stupid. What he did was insulting and degrading, and it was just definitely not something that you should do. But I didn't feel like it reached the standard of because he wasn't sexually harassing me, like he was like trying to touch me or something. Because then, oh honey, his ass would have been fired. He didn't say anything nasty to me about me. You see what I mean? To me, there's like degrees of this stuff, and him, going through his mind and reminiscing and shit. It was totally inappropriate, but it wasn't necessary. It wasn't directed at me per se. He was just doing his thing, and I happened to be there. That was the way I looked at it. But was I passive about it? No. I checked his ass immediately. I just chose to do my first level response was a way that could get him the information that this shit that you just did is not fucking okay. You better not do it again. Or you're gonna be fired because that was their zero tolerance. If I had gone into that office instead of asking for that copy and said this, let me just tell you what he just said. They would have marched security upstairs and escorted his ass out the building because we had to sign an agreement when we got employed that this was the policy, that we agreed to the policy and that we would adhere to the policy. That's why he thanked me. After that, that motherfucker kissed my ass the whole rest of the years that I worked there. I never heard a peep out of him. If anything happened, I started getting into it with one of them white, crazy, racist ass white people or something. He would stop what he was doing and come to the other side where I was. And he was a big, buff dude, okay? And he would stand there and ask them, well, what's the problem? Deborah, what's the problem? Are you harassing Deborah? And he would, like run interference. He became like my best buddy because I saved that motherfucker's job. And by me saving his job, see, he wouldn't have got a reference from them. He would have been fucked for good. So he knows I saved his ass. But what I also succeeded in doing was getting him to stop doing that. So I didn't have to worry about him doing it with me anymore. And he definitely wasn't going to do it to any of the other female trainers anymore because he knew what the risks were. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You got to weigh shit and see how you're going to do it, how you're going to handle it. But you should never ever let somebody get away with mistreating you or making you feel uncomfortable or harassed or dirty or emotionally uh, you know, injured or any of that kind of stuff, mentally accosted, physically accosted in your workplace. That is supposed to be a place of neutral safety for all the people there. And anybody who interferes with that, you need to do what you got to you tell them that they need to stop because that's part of the burden of proof before you take it to court. There was well, did you communicate to this person? Did you tell them that this was unwanted behavior? Did you tell them to stop? If you say no, you fucked yourself up. So you need to say that you told them in written form, that you told them in verbal form, whatever way you did it, and then you document it. See, I had witnesses because I asked for the copy of that sexual harassment policy. So had he just like continued doing what he was doing or picked it up another day, see, they knowing that I had picked that up, they didn't tell them who, but they knew that I got it. So that would have been my burden of proof that he had been given notice to stop. You see what I mean? So you have to make sure that you do that. You have to take that step. So you cannot be a fucking coward and sit up there being all passive and not saying, I don't want to say anything because that you just teaching people that they can treat you in no kind of way when you do that. All right. So that's my work advice for this young lady and my advice for all the other writers today. These letters was long as hell. Um, but that's what I have to say. And so I don't know what I'm gonna talk about next day or 2. I'll find something. It's always something to talk about. If you guys have any questions that you want me to address, go to the top of the channel and you will see at the very top of the channel, it says Get Advice. Click that button. It'll take you to the advice submission form. It contains information that I need to appropriately answer your question and releases that give me the legal right to read your question and put it on my blog and stuff like that. So we need that here because I'm not trying to get in nobody's court with y'all trying to help you. No. So do make sure you do it that way. And I'm thinking I need to be real strict about that because people want to just send me questions directly. No. You want to post questions on the board? No. If you don't do it the right way, then their question's not going to be answered. That's how we got to do things right now. I want you guys to you need to help protect me just like I help protect you. All right. So do things the right way that provides me with the legal protection that I need. And then we can keep this train rolling. Y'all didn't know I could dance, huh? I could do the Roger Rabbit. I could do the Running Man. I could get down in a chair. So I will see you guys real soon. Probably, not tomorrow. I think I'll wait tomorrow. I think I'll go to happy hour or something, and I will be back on the weekend. So send me your questions, your suggestions. Audience here. They say, that we don't have the biggest numbers on this channel, but what we do have is a very involved, a very engaged group of people because it's not like everybody is just a name on the thing. Y'all show up. Y'all show up, you comment, you come to the live streams, you're present, and I love that shit. So you're not just a name, just some vague, distance. Give me some. But thank you guys. I'll see you real soon. Okay. Bye bye.